Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Advocacy Interview recap. Just to remind everyone what my topic was about, I was doing the student loan debt protections, and I will continue to do so throughout the rest of this term. So I got the opportunity to interview Lane Thompson, who works for the Division of Financial Regulation here in Oregon State. She specifically is a student loans ombudsman, or as they call it, ombuds. It's a newer position here in Oregon. In fact, they just reinstated this position. They typically do reports on like defaulted state debt for student loans and state loans, subsidizing education, and they've been in this position for the last 3 years, mediating conflict and negotiations. So what an ombudsman is a person who investigates and reports on or settles complaints. Specifically, in this case, in alignment with student loans. So their specific responsibilities in this role is to manage borrower complaints, ensure proper licensure of lenders, educating borrowers on their rights and responsibilities, providing supportive resources and outreach, and settling borrower disputes, keeping borrowers informed and lenders in compliance with laws and regulations. There are 8 different types of advocates that we learned in Module 2 of this class. So we have our fact finders, our individualists, our good listeners, people who persevere, reasonable, credible, passionate, and communicators. When I asked Lane what type of advocacy style she likes to follow, she mentioned mostly that she's a good listener and communicator, as that is the main part of her job, is to listen to those disputes and complaints and find solutions for borrowers. Based off of her role also, though, this is a very research-heavy role, so she's also a fact finder, and she is an individualist because she mostly works alone. The types of decisions that we are mostly making in this role is whether or not the lender is in compliance with those state laws and regulations, settling those disputes, determining faults and solution. So typically, the kind of situations that we're dealing with here are lenders might have some unprocessed forms or may not be reporting information properly. We have a lot of difficulty with bookkeeping not being done properly or being in default. So typically, the type of data that we are collecting is, are we getting an adequate response from the lender? Are we getting the appropriate information? Are they at fault? Does it require legal action? And again, are they in compliance? The learning experiences that she provides in this role is typically through webinars, live presentations, conferences, answering questions like, what is an ombudsman? What are the repayment options and forgiveness options? What are my rights as a borrower? And what resources are available for student loan borrowers who are struggling with repayment or being in default? Assessment and evaluation of learners is typically just the comprehension of have their questions been answered? Did we develop a plan for their repayment? Have we found them a solution? And have we provided all the appropriate resources? So when we were talking about how to align in terms of advocacy, we discussed that Lane's next steps is that she wants to start doing training small scale for ombudsmen and doing cohorts to teach students how to do complaint work and student loan literacy. So our potential collaboration that we're looking into right now is running a workshop to teach student loan borrowers just about what their loans are and what their options are. And in that role, their role as an advocate is that knowledge is power. They like to find answers, define the pathways, create solutions while educating people in need of support. The main conclusion that we're drawing from this interview is that ombuds are not on a side of the lender or the borrower. They're just finding the facts. Sometimes advocacy is just about laying out all of the options available, and sometimes the needs just cannot be met. And here is the references. Thank you so much.